If video games allow you to play as anybody that you want, and 3D printers allow you to create anything that you want. Hot summer days means baseball is in full swing, no pun intended. We're only a month away from the Babe Ruth Little League World Series for 13-year-olds, but today is the Babe Ruth State Tournament for 14-year-olds here at Legion Memorial Field in Ottumwa. I caught up with organizers of the Little League World Series to talk about their preparation for it, as well as today's tournament. Throughout Grant Wood's life, he painted over 30 pieces. His painting Woman with Plants changed his career, whereas American Gothic changed his life. John, I'm here at the scene where earlier this morning the Adair County Rural Fire Department, with the help of other local emergency responders, battled a massive fire here at Thousand Hills State Park near Kirksville. Responders received a call around 6:40 in the morning that a fire engulfed a building at the park, and that building that was on fire is right behind me, and it happens to be the administration and the ranger's office. And on the right side, you can see it's somewhat standing, whereas the left side has been completely depleted with trucks around it that were also damaged by the fire. And if you were here currently, you could still smell and see the smoke. I spoke with the Adair County Sheriff, Bob Hardwick, who was on the scene, and he says that no one sustained injuries from the fire and that the cause of the fire remains under investigation. John? That's right, the Wapello County Sheriff's Office is holding 24-year-old Eric Guadalupe Davila on what they call other criminal charges from that location. Now, it's important to note that he has not been charged for the shooting as of yet, according to the Sheriff's Office. As the dust settles on the second annual Easter egg hunt, I look around for one filled egg, but sadly, not one of the 10,000 has gone untouched. This is my first dog show, unlike my friend Journey here, who's participated in over 20 shows. After speaking with owners and judges of the Ottumwa Kennel Club, they all say that even though it's a competition, it's also a family event. John, tonight is the drawing for the $540+ million Mega Millions jackpot, and this is going to be the winning ticket, I promise you, and it only costs $1 to purchase. The Mega Millions prize may not be the $1.6 billion Powerball prize from January, but it doesn't make it insignificant in the slightest. It's the seventh largest, jackpot in U.S. lottery history. But good luck winning it. The odds are slim at 1 in 258.9 million. Also, there's a high chance of sharing the prize. Where you live and purchase the ticket matters. State, local, and federal taxes are taken out, and it's a large portion of the prize. I recommend finding an accountant to help you with your finances, but I'm sure you'll be able to afford a good one. Thanks, John. I'm on Market Street in Ottumwa for Ragbri, and behind me we have some BMX bike ramps set up, and with me is hometown favorite, Riley. What's your last name, Riley?
Guest.
Guest, like be our guest?
Yeah, kind of like be our guest, yeah.
How long have you been BMXing for?
For about 14 years now.
And you've been on the Ragbri tour for how long?
This is the second time we've done shows for Ragbri. Last year we did it at the end in Davenport, and then this year it came through Ottumwa, so we decided to meet up here and do it.
So why did you start riding in the first place?
I actually saw one of these shows when I was like 8 years old, and that was pretty close to around the time that the skate park was being thought about being built, so it got me really, really excited about that. So yeah, kind of just kept riding bikes.
Have you had a chance to take in Ragbri here in Ottumwa?
Yeah, absolutely. It looks awesome. This is the culture here is amazing. They did a great job.
So what are your thoughts on it?
I just like it how it's all one big community. I mean, I don't know how many people came from Ragbri, but just the culture and the feeling of everybody just being on bicycles.
Speaking of feeling, when you're in the air doing a backflip or whatever trick you're trying to do, what does it feel like?
You just feel free, feel good. So it's exhilarating. So yeah.
Right. Well, tonight we will be live from the Springfield concert, and that's going to be following the Democratic National Convention covered by ABC. Back to you, John.
I definitely was not walking around town before this, that's for sure.
Pokemon Go, the game that is sweeping the heartland and the nation, has captured the hearts of young and old who have played it. About 9.5 million daily U.S. users.
You see kids, adults, and everybody else just playing the game, and so it's actually really cool to see so many people coming together to just play a simple kids game.
For those who haven't downloaded the game, it's a lot like virtual hide and seek in real-world environments. The Pokemon are hiding, and you have to find them. To do that, actual movement is a necessity.
I think this game is really good. Like a lot of the games that you had, people are sitting at home and stuff like that. Yeah, I mean, eating chips and stuff. Like this game really gets everybody out and about and makes them want to walk more. I mean, you kind of got to walk to be good at the game.
People of Kirksville, like everywhere else in the country, are getting off the couch and interacting with other players as they traverse the city.
And this is the first time that gives me an opportunity to get out the house instead of on my Xbox and still be able to go out and meet new people.
The Smash It game brings a community together and gets players active as well, but it can be dangerous if you aren't alert.
We've already had one traffic accident that was attributed to the game where an individual actually ran off the road and impacted a utility pole.
Lieutenant Wellman has seen his share of Pokemon-related troubles that stem from what's in their hand instead of what's going on around them.
People have got to stay aware of their surroundings.
At night, another Pokemon community comes out. In packs of 3 or 4, they roam the area from City Hall to college campuses. Last night at 1 a.m., I walked Truman State University with a group of players to see what the difference was.
Not as hot as noon, so that's pretty nice.
Like myself, last night was Alyssa Ballinger's first time playing. I'm sure it won't be her last.
It's a lot more fun than I thought it was going to be.
Pokemon Go is a virtual activity, when used responsibly, has real-world benefits.
My wife has been trying to get me out the house to exercise and go far be it that a Pokemon game is getting me out of the house to do some walking.
Catching them all in Kirksville, Stephen Sealey, KTVO News.
What? Not only am I proud to be here, but I am proud to be an American and I am proud to be an Iowan.
It was that energy that kept spirits high at the Welcome Home Soldier Support Rally.
It's just an amazing tribute to the men and women that have served our country.
But there's a bigger issue on everyone's minds.
There's a group from Washington, D.C. that's challenging their ability to have this monument here with the crosses.
The D.C. group is the Americans United for Separation of Church and State. In March, Americans United sent a letter to Monroe County officials to cut ties with the monument's crosses.
It hurt. It hurt a lot because this is our dream to welcome everybody back home, and they decided that we should take those down.
Not just veterans, but those in active duty attended the rally as well.
Non-vets, and they didn't have this. In fact, they had quite opposite of this. So it's because of them and everybody before me that I do what I do now.
The crosses are more than just markers of a fallen soldier. To the families and people in attendance, it represents freedom.
Time that put their lives on the line to serve this country, and we are very blessed to have people that are willing to do that so that we can enjoy the freedoms that we have every day. So that's what fires me up.
Across the country, there are veteran memorial cemeteries that display religious symbols as headstones. Today, in Albia, over 2,000 people rallied to show support to keeping the 21 crosses where they stay. Dogs are humanity's oldest friends and hunting allies. So when Van Buren County hunters heard rumors of possible restriction on hunting dogs, they showed up with over 100 people to a county public forum on May 9th. Landowners of Van Buren County presented a petition regarding hunters trespassing because of their hunting dogs.
Well, I really don't think there's a lot of tension. I think there was a lot of misunderstanding.
After a meeting off camera with Dan Loftus, the landowner who started the petition, he said the petition for an ordinance is by no means trying to stop coyote hunting or any other kind of hunting with hounds. Those who signed the petition believe hunting dogs should not be able to run across private property without landowner permission. Some common complaints from petitioners were hunters shot through herds of cows, some hunters think they can go wherever they want, whenever they want, and some hunters shot into the woods while guys were hunting deer. While Chairman Meek feels it's just a miscommunication, landowners still feel something should be done.
And we as the supervisors felt that the state has enough laws that address these issues. So there's really no sense in us having another one unless we want to make it more restrictive.
One coon hunter, Darren Batterson, allowed me to accompany him and his son to show me how their dogs behave on a hunt.
Over 90% of the hunters, especially hound hunters, we hunt with permission. We just don't trespass.
Batterson and his wife Lisa have been raising hounds for over 30 years. He says he rarely comes across problems with landowners.
I don't trespass at all. If I am, I hurry and get my dogs and get out because it's just easier to ask permission.
While running with his hounds, we were on private property, which Batterson had to ask permission beforehand. The average hound costs over $5,000. Batterson attaches a GPS collar to his dogs to make sure he knows where his dogs are at all times.
It's very disturbing. I've had it happen a few times where the dogs will tree in somebody's front yard at midnight, 2 o'clock in the morning. You got to wake them up to get your dog.
When it comes to hunting with hounds, there are 2 rules that you should follow. Always take care of your animal and respect the landowner. Meet Robbie Stinson. former first lieutenant with the Army Air Corps in World War II. Stinson has always been fascinated with flying. It's even apparent on his birth certificate.
My middle name, he named me Wright for the Wright brothers. So I guess I was predestined to.
He, like all soldiers, put his life on the line while serving.
And one of the bombs on the right wing fell off and hit the runway and it exploded, and that's what hit me.
The former P-47 Thunderbolt pilot recently was honored with the renowned Purple Heart Medal after waiting for over 70 years to receive it. Even after his leg and hip wound from the explosion, he continued to serve a long military career.
I decided to stay in the reserve, and so I stayed active in the reserve and retired as a major.
Robbie Stinson shared with me story after story of the experiences he went through in World War II. But his fondest memory was coming home.
I got out and walked down the ladder onto the ground, and when I got on the ground, I got down on my hands and knees and kissed the ground. Because you really love the United States.
Reporting in Ottumwa, Stephen Sealey, KTVO News. And companies know just how popular social media is, from Facebook, Twitter, to even Snapchat and Pinterest. They'll sponsor posts to get